begin with the Philadelphia Eagles. And truth be told, I think it's time to have a heart-to-heart. The Eagles look to slay their dragon, if you will, the demon Sunday against Tampa Bay. But I was reflecting all week long, thinking about Jalen's incredible second half. Shocker, I know. And we spend a lot of time on these airwaves talking about Jalen, debating lists that get thrown around about what quarterback is the best, arguing about how it looks in style points, screaming at one another about if it's sustainable or not. And it blows my mind to a certain degree because, well, then you see Jalen 17-0 in his last 17 games when he has started and finished the game, which includes an NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl. You see the Eagles are 19-1 in their last 20 games. This is the best stretch you are ever going to see in your lifetime. I hate to break that to you. And if not, that's lovely. But I doubt you will ever witness 19 of 20 wins again, 17-0 with that streak, maybe even continuing on Sunday. You'll never see it again. So let me ask you this. Are you truly admiring how special this is? 215-592-9494. Let's have a heart-to-heart about it. Are you enjoying this the way that it should be enjoyed? Now, it doesn't mean you can't have conversation. Of course you can have conversation. It's what we do. But are you really, and I mean really, embracing what type of special winning this is? And let me give you an analogy. I'm a new father. I have 2 kids. One is a newborn, essentially, a couple months old. The other, we're getting close to 2 years old. Sometimes I'm overstimulated. Sometimes I get frustrated. I get stressed out. I get worked up because, well, it's a lot. But what does everybody tell you? Enjoy it. Embrace it. You're going to look back one day and really wish they were 2 years old again. They were 3 months old again. Time flies. Before you know it, they're out of the house. They're gone. They're at college. They live with their significant others. You're going to want that time back. That's where we are with Jalen. There's too much BS around town when it comes to this kid. He's a pure winner. And one day you're going to look back at 17-0 in his 17 starts where he finishes as well. His 19 of 20 wins. 19 of 20. You will never see something like this again. Embrace it in the now. 215-592-9494. And be honest with me. If the answer is, when I ask the question, are you truly admiring how special this is? If the answer is, you know what, Brodes, maybe I haven't been until you opened up my eyes. And this is the dialogue I needed to hear. That's cool. Let's talk about it. If the answer is, you know what, Brodes, yes, I am admiring it, but I still feel it's necessary to say the offensive coordinator needs to get his head out of his ass. The quarterback needs to have more of a second half like the Rams instead of some of the slop that we've seen. You feel you have a comfortable mix of critique that's fair and also understanding the greatness. And maybe that's where you are. But let's talk about it. 215-592-9494. We are going to get to the phones, but I want you to take a listen to some audio here, and we will begin with Dan Orlovsky of ESPN just talking about what Jalen does that's so special, how he's able to do it on a week-to-week basis. Take a listen.
That second half was about as good as I've seen him play. I think it's about as good as you can play. I mean, there was 3 or 4 plays in that second half that you go, that's the play of the game. That's the play of the game. The double move to A.J. Brown, the touchdown pass to A.J. Brown when he checks it, the 3rd and 10 in route to Devontae Smith. If we took Jalen out there with 14 other quarterbacks in the league and we just put him in shorts and we just watched him throw, I don't know if he would be in your top 10 as far as just watching him do that. But all that dude does is figure out what takes to win that game and goes and does it. And that's why you got to put him in your top 5 conversation.
you hear him right there, and it's the truth. When it comes to finding ways, nobody does it better. And I get it when it comes to the way it looks. It's not Josh Allen. It's not Pat Mahomes in the prime of the Kansas City run. I get that. But Jalen literally will do whatever it takes on a day-to-day basis to get that win, and there's nothing more important in sports. Nothing. Nothing at all. So you're right. Maybe if you watch him in shorts throw the football, he doesn't give you the same wow factor as someone. I don't care. I don't care. This guy doesn't lose. And if he does, it's rare. That's the outlier. It's amazing. And just to put a cherry on top, let's relive some of the greatness that Jalen gives us. Let's begin with this most recent effort where on fourth down, okay, you're down big. You're down a lot of points. The offense is barely getting yards. You're talking about -2, -3, -1 net yards all throughout the first half journey. He puts the team on the back, and one special pass on fourth down to Devontae. Here it is.
It is 4th and goal. This is the game right here. This is it. Win it or lose it. Right here. Hurts in the gun. Hang on. Deep breath. Hurts back. Hurts looks. Hurts fires. Complete! Touchdown! They take the lead. Smith!
Smitty!
It's Smith! Devontae Smith!
Smitty.
Into the end zone. They take the lead.
This is beautiful. That's beautiful. That's what it's all about, those moments. And we get it with sustained winning. We get it with sustained success over and over and over again. I had a conversation with my dad. I took him out to lunch, and we were talking about the game before this most recent Sunday. And he goes, "What do you think? They're winning." And he goes, "I don't know about this one." I say, "Dad, we do this every week." You go, "I don't know." And I go, No. All they do is one thing. And then I text him after the game. I said, "I told you so." He said, "Yeah, but you didn't expect it to look like that." There's no expectations on what it's going to look like. Whatever the personality of the game is will be the result. Eagles victory. It's what they do. And it stems from the QB. Here's the Jordan Davis, though, just to keep the energy high and the momentum rolling here with all the goosebumps that you get every time they play. Here's the scoop and score by Jordan Davis.
Hold your breath. They blocked them the last time. The ball is spotted. The kick is away. It's blocked! It's blocked! It's picked up by the Eagles. Running with it is Davis. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Game over! Jordan Davis!
Are you kidding me?
Blocked him again!
Are you kidding me?
Blocked him again! Have you ever seen anything like this?
The laugh is amazing, beautiful, outstanding. Let's get to you. 215-592-9494. The reason I play that, I want you to soak in what we get to experience and how lethal it is, how tremendous it is. Are you truly admiring what the Eagles have provided us over the last few years? And we're in the middle of it. I don't want you to look back and think, man, you know what? When we were in the gold era, all I did was complain. All I did was cry about Jalen and this and Patullo and that. And it's not like it's not talkable. But you got to be grateful for what you have here and recognize it in the moment and it not just be in the rearview mirror. Because then you miss the specialness when it's actually occurring. And I don't want that for you. Let's go to James in Pottstown to kick things off. What's going on, James?
Brodes, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. It's so funny that you picked this as the topic because I kid you not, 45 minutes ago I was just talking to my mom about how this is the peak of Philly sports right now. Like, it's unbelievable that we get to go see the Phillies do what they do every night and see the Eagles do what they've done every afternoon for the last year. It's so awesome, and all you can ask for as a fan is to have the winning that Jalen gives you, and you know I couldn't imagine being a fan of any other team, honestly.
No, I'm with you. It is something that's ridiculous, the confidence, the arrogance that I have every moment I sit my butt and my ass on my couch on a Sunday, knowing that some way, shape, or form, I don't know how, but I do know it will result in what I need. And how can you not appreciate that? And instead, you bark that Jalen can't throw a football when the guy clearly can do the things that you claim he can't do, and you're just being a you-know-what about it.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I'm all in on Hurts. I've been buying his rookie cards while they're undervalued compared to his contemporaries because I think he's just going to keep winning, and then people will finally give up their arguments about what it looks like.
You're starting to see that, though, and I use Dan Orlovsky as an example because I played his audio previously, but he's openly admitting that it took him a little while, and I'm paraphrasing, but it took him a bit to sort of understand what the aura and energy is all about because, listen, I agree, it didn't happen for me overnight. It took time, but at this point, the time has worked its magic. He has already proven it where it's not the same debates. It seems like we're having the same debates that we had when he was in year one with Nick Sirianni, still learning as a rookie, or the pre-Super Bowl in 2022, Jalen. I think some of the conversation then was fair game, but now this guy has been doing it for so long now. Don't let this pass by. James, this is the best era of Eagles football you will ever watch.
I'm smiling ear to ear right now because I couldn't agree more, and I love it, man. I just love how you love Jalen. I've been in on him since the Super Bowl, honestly. I mean, I just wish he got the ball back in 2022 because people would have a conversation if what I believe would happen, happened. He would have put down the field.
Oh, yeah. And James, thank you so much. Unfortunately, knowing how these things go, he could have 2 Super Bowl trophies with 2 Super Bowl MVPs and still deal with this. Let's go to David in Drexel Hill. What's going on, David?
Hey, how you doing? I had to call you in. Hey, listen, you know what the problem really is?
What's that?
That the last 3, going on to 4 years, all people did was say Jalen Hurts wasn't really all that good. So it blinds them from the winning and his success because you even got your host that comes on in the morning. He said Jalen wouldn't even be the starting quarterback this season. He said last season when Jalen won the Super Bowl, it was a shock to him, but he was like, Jalen wouldn't even be the quarterback this season. And then we talking about a guy that's in his first 4 years, and then you think about it, this is the beginning of his career, basically. If they play as strong as they have, because what we do have going for us, and you keep saying it, is it's a team too. And all the great quarterbacks always had a good team. People can make up stories, but I remember back in the Steelers, the Cowboys, everybody, even the latest Tampa Bay when they was doing good with Belichick, they had defense. You know, come on, think about this. Patrick Mahomes won 2 of his his Super Bowls on last-minute scores because the defense was holding them. Get the ball, turn it over to Patrick, he go down, make one play, and they say he's the greatest in the world. But guess what? That era may be over. And ours might be starting because if we go through this season and we win a Super Bowl, then the sky is the limit because we will do the same thing that Patrick and them was doing. It will be a 3-peat coming. And if we 3-peat, then Jalen is stamped in history.
Well, I would like to think so, but knowing some of these people around here, they're still. Well, he needs 4. He needs 5. But no, your point, David, might be fair that the expectation, or maybe I should say the opinion of some when he first got here may sway them to, they want to be right. Yes. And I didn't, listen, David, I'll be honest with you. When they drafted him, I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world just because you just paid cars. So I wasn't like this day one, but my brain works in a way where when I am proven wrong, I adjust. And now that I see the guy so electric and so elite that I once didn't like it, now I see a straight-up winner who I'm obsessed with from a football perspective. And you can be wrong about a player in a minute. That's all.
Let me say this. The Eagles will average probably about 35 points or more a game. You watch coming up because what the thing people keep screaming about, throw A.J. the ball more. Remember when Jalen was only throwing to him and people was upset? You know? And here's what's going to happen. By them scoring 35, 40 points a game, they're going to be blowing these teams out because our defense is good enough to hold teams 30. We'll be doing just
that's
like Patrick and them.
Yeah.
4 or 2 ahead, and we're going to win.
Now, David, I appreciate the phone call. 40-something points in our defense allowing 30. I see your vision. Maybe we'll tweak the numbers a little bit, but your offense will get out ahead of what it's been doing. And those first halves, I think organically over time here, the playbook will start to expand. Why it took this road to get here, I don't know. Why they took this path and why the coaching staff felt they wanted to be basic and vanilla super early, and then over time they were going to open this up to the next layer of the offense. I don't know why, okay? I don't know why. But you may be right that you're going to start seeing development in the passing game. You're going to see more points being produced, and you'll see a more efficient and effective offense drive by drive. And we know what Vic Fangio is capable of doing with the defense. It's just, what do you got now with Nolan Smith missing a decent amount of time? Are you going to have the pass rush with an unknown at cornerback too, whether it's Adoree Jackson, whether it's Ringo? We know Bennett hit the IR as well. So there's a hole there. There's a limited pass rush. What's it going to look like? I trust Vic. You know, he finds ways, and what makes a winning culture fantastic is, who the hell would have thought Fred Johnson steps in and not only plays well, but Baldy had on his Baldy breakdowns videos of Jared Verse and his face mask getting planted into the dirt. That's not just holding your own and allowing your quarterback to get some opportunities. That's winning your battles insanely against a superstar premier pass rusher. That's what Fred Johnson was doing. And the reason why I feel it's necessary to bring that up is there's ways for guys who you don't necessarily anticipate being the guy to do some serious things. And maybe that's what we'll get just in another area of the team. We saw it with right tackle. Maybe we see it in Ringo. Who knows? Maybe Ringo says what you saw in preseason against Jamar Chase, that's not the real me. There's a reason why there was intrigue in the organization. There's a reason why I was favored to win that battle before camp began, because I got something, sexy about my play. And maybe desperation sets in. Why did the offense look so great? Because desperation. You were down 26-7. Sometimes desperation pushes you to uncomfortable levels where it gets your best. Maybe that's where he's at. Maybe Ojulari, who's been a health bomb and hasn't even been able to wear the uniform over the first few weeks, maybe he feels this is a desperate time for him because he's very limited in snaps. I'm obviously not getting any snaps. So desperate times causes for desperate measures. You get in there, you make an impact. Maybe that's where it comes. But your overall point on Jalen, though, I think is the guy just wins, man. And I know that bothers people. Don't know why. Because at the end of the day, you can laugh at what Chris Jones said to Jalen at the end of the game against the Chiefs about having 100 yards. But isn't there one reason why you take the field? One reason why you take the court? One reason why you jump on the ice? Isn't there one reason? Isn't there one reason why, let's say you play tennis, you touch the court? Come on. Come on. Let's go to Dylan in Newcastle. What's up, Dill?
Brodes! It's been a long time, my friend. How are you, sir?
Well, then make it more often.
I'm trying, man.
Okay.
My current work schedule's preventing me from talking to you on the daily.
Well, then quit your job. I'm just
if I could
messing.
quit my job and listen to Brodes full time and still have a life to live, then I would have done something right.
I appreciate that. That's all I needed to hear. What's on your mind?
I'm going to throw a number at you, and I want you to guess what that number is. 362.
The
What
amount
does
of
that number mean?
The amount of times Jalen Hurts is in my mind. I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay, you know what? That's a fair guess. But 362 days since Jalen Hurts has started a football game and won a football game.
Wow. That's amazing.
362 days. The only time the Eagles have lost was when Jalen Hurts started against Washington, and I can't pull that number out of my head right now, but week 14, 15 against Washington last year, and we lost by 3 points because somebody else dropped the ball. Bros, what else do Philadelphians need to see from Jalen Hurts? What else do we need to see from Jalen Hurts as a whole to make us no longer doubt him? I mean, it's honestly infuriating. Have the past 3 weeks been 2.5 weeks? Let me give you some grace. Have the past 2.5 weeks been frustrating? Absolutely. Because we can see at the second half of that Rams game that he turned it on. why I don't understand why do Philadelphians as a whole, and let's even go greater, that the national media and national football fans, why do we doubt this man?
It's a great question. And I do think that there was once a time where it was more warranted. Like, I do understand that he's such a, I don't want to say an acquired taste, but if you just look at it through that lens in a way, it takes time to warm up to the way he gets it done. I do acknowledge that because it is an interesting way to do it. But I just feel we're so far past that now, where if it took you a little longer to warm up, okay, that's fine. Just admit it. But at this clip, I mean, it's all we ever asked for. This is more than we've ever asked for. Honestly, we've asked for one Super Bowl before we're no longer on planet Earth. We got that with Nick Foles, but after that, we got another one, and all this guy does is put us in position to do it again and again and again and again. Here we go. Dylan, how many times did you hear before the season, oh, the start of the year is so difficult. I take 2-2 in a heartbeat and blah, blah, blah. They're 3-0 with a chance to go 4-0. I mean, all he does is put you in positions to host NFC championship games and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, and it's nuts. It's nuts.
And not only that, let me just switch gears a little bit here and ask you another question. Not just Brodes specific, but let's talk about, because everybody likes to say greatest quarterback of all time. Because the man won 2 Super Bowls, where do you think John Elway falls on the greatest quarterback list? Is he top 15? Is he top 20? Is he top 30? No, he's arguably among the National Football fans synonymously within that top 15 to top 10 range. Now, let me throw you one more number. That man played 15 years of football, won 2 Super Bowls. He had 300 touchdowns in his career. You know what that averages out to? 20 damn touchdowns a year. What is Jalen Hurts doing? He's been to 2 Super Bowls, he won 1, and he's throwing about 20 damn touchdowns a year. Why are we not putting this? Bro, let me just level with you. I don't care where my quarterback ranks. I don't. Because as long as that man has rings on his finger and I get to enjoy my time as an Eagles fan and I get to sit back and say, we are living in the greatest Eagles history currently, then that's all I care about.
And that's big, though. You're right. That's big. That's big. Is to reckon. And Dylan, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the kind words and the conversation. You're right. When you sit back, but that's sort of the exercise today. I think that's a good way to sort of lay that out is when you take a deep breath, when you sit back and relax, I just want some more understanding. I just want some more of acknowledgement. That's all. I just want people to really settle in for the next couple hours. I have you till 2 a.m. Just when I'm on the air, I want you to breathe and realize what we're consuming. What we're consuming. And I get why we get frustrated, because here I am saying, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, just focus on the greatness. And then someone says something about his play, and then if I'm a cat, the hairs stick up because you're ready to pounce, right? I got a dog who's filled with anxiety. We rescued her. Whenever she gets scared, the hairs stick up on her back. She gets this look. It's very intimidating, but she's ready to go. I'm getting that way. So I'm almost not listening to myself. But I'm doing my best as we sit through this exercise and have a heart-to-heart to just recognize and admire this. Because things do close rather quickly in professional sports when you think the door is open forever. Oh, we're going to be elite forever. And I do think the defense has a chance to, because think about it. Makuba, Carter, Davis, Quinion, DeJean, Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt. There are some guys here, that Jihad Campbell. There's very intriguing things here for the foreseeable future. But, windows do close when I thought we'd have Carson Wentz for a decade. And Nick Foles is the one to close the door. Then you move off of him. Now here's Jalen. You never know when things shift, is my point. So soak it in. Absorb it. Because there's going to be a time when you look back and say, I wish we're back in that era. Because we'll be the Patriots one day. And we'll be figuring out, is Mac Jones the guy? Is Drake May the guy? Is Mike Vrabel the guy? Is who they had before? Mayo. Is he the guy? They're going to keep twisting and turning and trying to figure out all sorts of ways to get back on track. And that'll be us one day, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. But just the standard trajectory of sports is at some point there is that turnover where you got to reestablish and redo things a little bit, recalibrate, if you will. Maybe with Howie Roseman being here, we don't. Maybe he's that elite, and I can't rule it out. But just in theory, there's times where you have to sort of reset. And you're going to be crying for Jalen Hurts at 26, 27 years old, leading the charge. Pat in Denver, you're on WIP. Hey, Pat.
Good evening, Brodes. First and foremost, congrats on being a new dad, man. Cherish that every moment of it.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a lot of fun right now. We got the one running around the house and then the other one who can't really move yet, and it's two extremes.
Yeah, but trust me, there will come a day when you're going to miss those middle-of-the-night wake-ups and diaper changes and things like that. So
yeah, 100%. That's what everyone says.
Like that right now.
Yeah. Daddy.
So I am admiring this team, man. You know, a couple of callers have said it. Like, we went through such doldrums in this city for so long that we just have to sit back and admire it. And I've been thinking about this Jalen Hurts discussion, right? And you're right. We can have discussions, and the way they win might be boring, but at the same time, you know, we could be Bears fans and watching a high-flying Caleb Williams throw 4 touchdowns, and they're 1-2, right? And they haven't won anything in forever. So, you know, we're so lucky to have this team and to have a quarterback that goes out there and sacrifices maybe his stats, maybe his position in the sport to go out and win games and be a leader. You know, I think that's really what he's doing, and I fear that the folks who are against him are waiting for that "I told you so" moment. They want to be right about it, right? They want him to go out and throw 3 picks and lose a game. I don't understand the psychology of it, but you know, what's your take on that? Do you think they just want to be right about it?
I think that's part of it, but after you win the Super Bowl, I don't know how much more ground you have to stand on. For example, if he doesn't win another Super Bowl in his career, does that make you right? Because he already has one in his back. He already did what you said he can't do. He already got the job done. Yeah. And to his credit, he's not even satisfied by that, but just from a fan standpoint or someone who had an opinion that he's not good enough, well, he already did what you said he can't do. So
absolutely,
you're not going to win a Super Bowl. Tom Brady played for how many seasons, and he has how many Super Bowls? And he's the extreme outlier. But my point is, there's going to be a lot of non-Super Bowl seasons with Jalen, but that doesn't now necessarily mean you're right with your assessment of him, because if that's the case, Joe Burrow stinks, Lamar stinks, Josh Allen stinks, and that's not true. Those are good quarterbacks.
Absolutely, and look at the exciting quarterbacks. Drew Brees just made some headlines this week.
Mr. Exciting Drew Brees, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, right? How many Super Bowls do they have each? 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you really can't do that kind of comparison. And I think, you know, sometimes it's arguing for the sake of arguing, and we can have those discussions. But at the same time, like, don't hold on to your opinion so hard that you're obsessed with being right, because it'll ruin the enjoyment of watching this team win.
100%. Pat, if that was the case, I'd be, and thank you, Pat. I appreciate the call. I'm not telling anyone how to feel about their fandom, but if you do hold on to certain takes and certain beliefs forever, then I wouldn't enjoy this Phillies run, because I ripped them for. At some point, you say how you feel in the moment. You say what you're feeling then, and if 3-4 months go by, or in Jalen's case, if a couple of years goes by, then you recognize that, hey, he's got something different in his tank that I didn't see, or, hey, he proved a lot of people wrong. You can adjust. It's okay to adjust. The adjustment should have been made by now. And the fact that it wasn't made from some, it hurts my brain. It hurts my brain, because there's enough of a sample size for you to be swayed to the other side. Just like with the Phils, there's enough of a sample size. Now, listen, I ripped Trey Turner for so long, it's not even funny. And I held on to that. Too much of a sample size this year. This guy was a stud. It goes Kyle Schwarber and then Trey Turner for the most important pieces to why this team was so damn successful. He cleaned up his defense. He was hitting at a ridiculous rate. He was a threat on the base paths. He was annoying at the top of the lineup prior to the injury. And I feel if he plays the way he played all year long when he returns to the playoffs, then we have a serious shot because of him. I've ripped the guy for forever. You got to be able to make adjustments or you'll drive yourself nuts. It's okay. I didn't even love Jalen year one. I made a statement and a claim at a station I worked at down the shore then. And I remember saying, there will never, ever, ever, ever be a time where I justify that Jalen Hurts pick, ever. It was so dumb. It was so stupid. I could never justify it at the time. You just paid Carson. Guy was a stud. I don't get it. Now look at me. I'm ready to get Jalen Hurts' face tattooed on my neck. It's what happens when you prove me wrong. I'm a sucker. But there's a reason. Because he has shown elite football play to the point where he's 17-0. In the last 17 games that he started and finished, which include, it's not 17 regular season games, ladies and gentlemen, because that includes postseason ball. That includes the bowl, the NFC Championship game, a division round in the snow, a game against Green Bay where people were shaking in their boots about Jordan Love. What a joke that was. Come on, man. Are you truly admiring how special this is? Let's have a heart-to-heart. 215-592-9494. Let's go to Colin to keep the phones rocking in Blackwood. What's up, Colin?
How you doing, bro?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Good. I'm here to help you out on this Jalen Hurts defense.
Okay.
He is that man.
I'm
going to hit you with a stat. Then I get done work every day at noon, so I listen to the midday show all the time.
Okay.
And Spike and Jack, they shit on him. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Spike and Jack.
Yeah, the afternoon show. Yeah.
Yes. They don't, as much as they don't say it, I don't think they believe in Jalen Hurts. And they try and blame it on other people, but I'm going to give you a stat for last week against the Rams.
Okay.
So in the first half, the Eagles had 24 offensive plays. We audibled on just 2 of those plays, 3.8%. And we got killed. Second half, we had 24 offensive plays and audibled on 11 of them. Jalen Hurts took over that offense.
That's not surprising to me. And it's funny because I listened to the press conference with Kevin Patullo, and I normally don't put that much effort into the court. I'd listen, but I don't care too much. But I was sitting down with my notepad ready to lock into Kevin Patullo, and he was asked about what him and Jalen said on the sideline, and this guy literally said, I don't even remember. What do you mean you don't remember? And the reason why I think it's important here is, like, that was the turning point. That was Jalen saying, forget the BS, forget the nonsense. It's my game now. I'm in control. And then the game looked like a superstar caliber team in the Eagles uniform. Complete difference, 180 from what was happening before. And to your point, Jalen was now the one in command, changing everything up and being the dominant force. It was so simple. Yet Patullo didn't remember what was said. Right.
He doesn't want to admit he remembers what was said because Jalen said it to his face, which is what he needed to hear. I was going to say, I got done work earlier, straight at 12 o'clock. They were trying to say that the Eagles don't trust Jalen Hurts. That is not true.
Well, and Colin, thank you so much for the phone call. I appreciate it. So that was Gilio earlier today, the midday show, yes. We'll actually play Donovan McNabb coming up next, too, because Donovan McNabb said something on the afternoon show, and Gilio brought up maybe them not believing in Jalen. They may be right. Like, I'm not discrediting Gilio thinking that they don't trust Jalen. They may be right. The staff sucks at their job then. Like, because when I watch it, I feel that. I'm like, do they not trust this guy? Because that's embarrassing. They may not trust him. And that only speaks to his greatness even more. If he's able to have this level of success with the staff that doesn't even believe in his skill set, and that's holding him back. We say, not we, but there are some that say he limits what this team can be. Imagine winning at this clip with the staff limiting what he can do, and what he can be. That may be where we are, which is crazy. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I like Nick Sirianni. He's not Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay from an offensive game plan standpoint. He's a hell of a leader. He's a very, very elite people person. He's phenomenal at getting the guys locked in and the details, and he's so focused on the details of the game. And I think Nick Sirianni does a lot of things well. A lot of things extremely, extremely well. I think he's a damn good coach. I want to be very clear with that. Damn good coach. I don't think his strength is sexy, creative, smart, offensive football. I think he's a phenomenal leader who's passionate and authentic. But their strength isn't the offensive strategy. But it works because of what Jalen can do, which is be very, very polished in the turnover department, which I think is very crucial to the team's success. I think he picks his moments and he's efficient with his moments. But if anything, I don't think Jalen limits the offense. I think the staff limits Jalen. And they may be right. They may be right. They may be right to say that the coaching staff doesn't believe in him. It only shows you how great Jalen really is to overcome that. Because at times it feels that way. 215-592-9494. Are you truly admiring how special this is? Let's have a heart-to-heart. Coming up next, your phone calls, and we will hear from Donovan McNabb, who was on with the afternoon show. You'll hear what he had to say about the coaching staff and what he sees with Jalen. It's Brodes with you. It's 94 WIP.